So my quarter life crisis started last year when I was 25 years old, and it's still ongoing. It's not something that has passed just yet. And the reason I think it all started was because once you turn 25, you really realize that you are getting on in age, but at the same time, you know that you're still young. And it sort of makes you feel like you're in limbo almost, like you don't know, am I where I'm supposed to be? Oh, but I'm still young, so I still have time. But then in the same thought, you'll be like, no, you don't have time. You're 25, you're nearly 30. And it's really sent me into this weird headspace that I feel like I'm still in, that I haven't been able to get out of, that I don't know if I'm at where I'm supposed to be. And this is me just being honest with you guys because, these videos help me, I think, more than they help you guys. I feel like I really need to do this and talk on the mic, just get some shit off my chest. I think what also made the whole thing worse for me was the fact that I was in a job that I really, really hated. And I know a lot of people are in this position as well. Yeah, I was in that factory job that I made a video about like a few months ago for close to 4 years. And when I turned 25 and me still being there, I really just felt so deflated. Like, is this what the rest of my life is going to be? Like, I'm so young and I'm in this place, but at the same time, I'm not so young and I'm in this place. And it really made me feel depressed. I felt like I wasn't going anywhere and I felt like I was stuck. And then I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but I don't work there anymore, which has been one of the greatest blessings I think ever, because it allowed me to start this YouTube channel and, start exploring my own mind and what I want out of life. And I think that's also been a positive, not being there. But the downside of not being there is that I've been given so much time, in between finding jobs and finding this next step, what my next move is going to be. It's made me realize that whole time while I was in that job, I didn't really realize what I wanted to do with my life, because I just had that job, that paid for my bills, paid for everything that I needed to get paid for, and my life was taken care of, well, in fact. So I didn't really think about, what do I want to do? I just know I don't want to be here. But what do I actually want to do? And now being away from there, because I just thought, once I leave this job, then, I'm going to know what I want to do with my life. And I really thought that, because I had some other things lined up that I was, doing to be self-sufficient or whatever. And, I just really realized that those things weren't what I wanted to do either, which has kind of thrown a spanner in the works, because now I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Because I have no idea now what I'm supposed to be doing. And yes, I could just get another job that I'm going to hate, but that's not the point of this video. That's not the point of addressing this quarter life crisis, because I actually want to be moving towards something that I enjoy doing. I don't just want to get another dead end job that I'm going to hate every single day that I have to go do. Because a lot of people, my partner is a young professional, and, she actually enjoys what she does because she studied for it. It's the career she's always wanted to do. And I feel like that's a different position than being someone in the job market that's just looking for a job, looking for exchanging time for money. There's no like personal ambition behind it other than you just need to make a living. And I feel like that's the position that I've been in, that I don't have a career that I'm chasing, and that sort of puts me in a different situation. And I know that this is completely normal and very common. I think 90% of the population of the workforce in the world, I completely said that wrong, but 90% of people that are in the workforce generally have jobs and not careers. And that's just the way it goes. Not everyone has the opportunity to go to university and, to map out a specialized, career path for themselves. It doesn't always work out that way. And not everyone wants to either. I know I never wanted to do that, so that's why I didn't. Um, but it really has made me think that what else is out there for me in terms of, doing things for money? Because I don't just want another job. I don't want to go to a place every single day that I'm going to dread. I don't want that anymore. I did it and I completely didn't like it. I didn't like 1 second of it. Even though it paid really well and I could really do what I wanted outside of work, but I just still felt kind of dead, you know what I mean? I felt like deflated all the time and I just felt nah, and it's just not a nice feeling and I don't want to feel like that again. I want to do something that, even if it's for less money, I want to feel purpose. I want to feel fulfilled. And that has sort of been irritating my mind every single day because I don't know what that thing is. I don't know what I can be doing. And I'm not sitting here, I'm trying to say that I don't have options, because I do. And especially in the world that we live in with the internet available, I mean, there's so many opportunities. You can work remotely, you can do so many things. I'm not saying that I don't have any opportunities. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is I don't know what I want to do. And it's bugging me out, guys. It's actually bugging me out. And I really want to know in the comments if you have ever been in such a position before. Because I don't think it's like uncommon for people to go through a quarter life crisis in some way, shape, or form. I don't think everyone goes through it like maybe like this, where it's specifically related to purpose of jobs and everything. But I do feel like people go through this in their mid-20s in a way that it's often comes out in the form of, I've been doing the wrong things and I want to change course. That's when a lot of people end up getting heavy into fitness and other hobbies that they've never even dreamed of doing. And, that's when people will look at them and be like, oh, dude, this guy's going through something because he's never done this in his life. And now all of a sudden he started this thing, he must be going through a bit of a crisis. And I feel like it's completely normal because you're going through your 20s where you are discovering yourself. You hear so many older people. I've had so many conversations with older dudes, like specifically when I was working that job, where they always used to tell me, like, it's never too late for you to do something. And I saw that with my own eyes, like I saw people doing their first year of university at the age of 28, at the age of 29, like just because that they weren't like able to pay for tuition when they got out of school and they had to go work to take care of their families. Everyone has different situations, and some people that I worked with really did have tough situations, and that's why they were only able to study later in life. And I've been thinking about that recently. Like, it actually gives me a lot of comfort knowing that you don't need to move on this kind of linear path that the world has made you think. Oh, these birds are really loud outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Like, you don't have to move like on this linear path that we've been taught to follow. That you have to, as soon as you leave school, go to university, and then you have to get a job. Even though, yes, it's a proven method of life, I mean, the meta works in terms of if you don't have food or shelter covered, you could give a damn about your psychological needs because those things come first. You need to get your food and shelter taken care of first before you can worry about anything. And fortunately, I do have those covered. So that is why I'm able to even bug out about a situation like this. But I just think that, it's comforting to know that life is not linear, even though we sort of get told that you need to do things a certain way or else, you're going to be a bum or you're going to be a loser and you're going to, throwing away all your potential. I don't believe in that. And I think having that job was actually a good experience because so many people were doing things differently because their situation was different. And I feel like I have to take that into consideration into my current one because I feel that I've definitely moved through life a little bit differently, even though I had the opportunity to do the linear thing, but I just didn't. And I've been thinking of like solutions to my problem that, I want to find purpose. I want to find something that I'll be happy to do every single day. And I heard this quote, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I was listening to some YouTube video and someone was saying that, the path only illuminates when you start walking it. And I don't know who said that, but that thing stuck with me because that just means that I need to just take action. I need to just straight up start walking this thing. Like, I can't be waiting around for some genie to come out of the sky and grant me a wish, like just I want to find my purpose, boom, and then then I have it. Where it clearly doesn't work like that. And I think maybe that's why I also have been doing YouTube for longer than what I thought I would be. I really thought this was going to be a thing that I pick up and then, get bored of within a month or two if I don't get monetized. And look, we are 6 months later, still not monetized, but I love doing this. So who knows? Maybe this is going to be my thing. Who knows? Maybe this is going to be the thing. But I feel like I'm just moving passively lately because of this crisis. I'm using it as a crutch, and that's wrong. I need to start being active. I need to start actually being like very intentional about what I want to do. And even if I don't completely know what I want to do, I just need to do something. But I know one thing is for sure, man, and it's I don't want to work a dead end job again. I really, really don't. I just don't want to be in that situation again. But if I do work another job, I want it to be with the knowing that it's for something greater. It's for a bigger path, a bigger career path that I'm chasing. And I do believe that I can find this thing, that if I just start walking in some kind of direction, it's going to find me. But I just need to start walking. And who knows, like I just said earlier, maybe it's the fact that I started this YouTube thing. Maybe the answer is somewhere along this road. I just can't stop myself from making videos and talking about my life. And, I really enjoy it. And who knows, maybe the answer is somewhere along this road. But I would just really, for me, I just don't want to be unhappy. I don't believe that happiness is a state that someone can continuously live in, but I don't want to dread every single day. Like I went through almost 4 years of dreading every single day, and that's not a healthy place to be. And I'm not saying that, you have to dread every single day. Like I understand happiness and your mental and emotional state is completely in your control. I 100% agree with that, not disputing it, but I just was unhappy. And I don't ever want to feel that way again. Obviously, you are going to go through life and you're going to feel unhappy at times, but I want to be doing something that gives me a level of fulfillment, challenge, struggle, and happiness that feels worth pursuing, basically. And I actually believe that's achievable. I don't think it's such a lofty goal to do something that you don't necessarily love, but it feels so worth pursuing that you are willing to give it your best every single day. I don't think that's impossible to ask for. I really don't. And I think if you actually put it out there to action it, you will find this thing. And that is what I'm basically making this video about, just talking about what I've been going through, but also that I'm deciding, to actually take action and not just dwell into a state of, okay, I'm just going to get another job that I hate and it'll cover all my bills. I'll be a little bit unhappy, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I don't want that. I don't want to just survive, bro. I want to thrive. I don't believe I was put on this earth to just survive. I believe I was put on here to thrive and to do something. And to do something meaningful at that. And working another dead end job is not that that's not it. It's not it for me. And you can say that I'm, arrogant for thinking that I was made for some kind of bigger purpose, but I genuinely believe so. I don't believe that I was made to work in a factory and just, that's going to be the rest of my life. I don't believe it. I believe I was put here to create things. I was put here to do things that can also have a positive impact on people. And I want to pursue that, man. And maybe it's not YouTube. Maybe it's not this. It doesn't have to be. But I think as long as I keep walking this road, who knows? It might be it. It might be it. But the main thing I wanted to get to in this video is that if you are going through a quarter life crisis, I don't think that you should feel isolated. I think it is something that a lot of people in our age bracket are going through, whether it be for work reasons, for other personal life reasons. I think your 20s is such a strange time where, you get the advice that you should experiment and fail and mess up in your 20s. And while that's all good and well, you also get told in your other ear that you need to be securing your future. You need to be making smart moves. You can't be messing up, you know? And I feel like we just get fed conflicting information on how to live your 20s that it really does sort of put you in this weird headspace. And I'm not now blaming the rest of the world for making me feel like, oh, I'm in a weird headspace. I don't know what to do with my life. It's completely all your fault for feeding me two sides of the same story, you know? I don't I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that being in your 20s is weird. It really is weird because you know you are getting older, but you're still young. There's so much potential life ahead of you, that you don't want to mess it up. But at the same time, you don't want to be bored either. So I feel like it's a completely natural thing, and I would say almost an encouraged thing that you are supposed to go through this change, this process, because I do believe at the other side of it is something positive if you let the process do its thing. I don't think I've been resisting it, and now I'm open to this change. I'm listening to my mind in a way that I haven't before. I would always just shut out these feelings and, just pick up, continue. We need to, can't be thinking about stuff like this. We need to just get the bag, move on. And I'm not saying I'm not doing that anymore. I actually want to see where this goes. I want to see where this process of change is going to take me, bro, because I believe it will take me somewhere. I can't be actively pursuing something, something that I don't even know what it is yet, and just, turn around and go back to what I've known all along that I know wasn't good for me, that being this dead end job thing. I'm going to keep looking. I'm not saying that you guys should just carry on exploring and wander around a little bit, but I think that's what I'm going to do, man, because I believe my answer is on the other side. And I just want to give you words of encouragement that if you are also exploring, you also trying to figure out what it is this life thing is all about and your place in it, stay strong, keep moving, because I promise you will find the answer. You will find the answer if you carry on actively looking for it. So that's going to be today's video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to support me a little bit more, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. It's never expected, but always appreciated. And I will see you guys in the next one. See you.